Rome, the year 64 AD. An old fisherman is led out to be executed on Vatican Hill. He makes one final request, and according to tradition, it stunned even his executioners. "Crucify me upside down. I am not worthy to die the way my Lord died." His name was Peter, and centuries before this hill became the heart of the Catholic Church, it was his grave. This is the story of the world's first pope. His story doesn't begin in a palace, it begins on a lake. Around the year 30 AD, a fisherman named Simon worked the waters of the Sea of Galilee. He came from the fishing town of Bethsaida, and he worked alongside his brother Andrew. He was not a scholar, not a priest, not a nobleman. He was a working man with calloused hands, and by his own account, a sinner. One morning, after a long night of catching nothing, a traveling teacher stepped into his boat. The teacher told him to lower his nets one more time. Simon was exhausted, but something about this man made him obey. The Gospel of Luke says the nets came up so full they began to break. Then the teacher, Jesus of Nazareth, spoke the words that changed history. "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." Simon left his boat, his nets, his entire life on that shore. Jesus gave Simon a new name, Cephas, Peter. It means the rock. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus tells him, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven." For Catholics, this is the moment the papacy was born. Those keys are still on the Vatican's flag today. But Peter was no marble saint. He was impulsive, he doubted, he failed. One stormy night, the disciples saw Jesus walking toward them on the water. It was Peter, only Peter, who dared to step out of the boat. For a few impossible seconds, he walked. Then he saw the wind. Fear won. As the water swallowed him, he cried out one of the shortest prayers in Scripture, "Lord, save me." That was Peter, brave enough to step out, human enough to sink. And on the night Jesus was arrested, Peter's courage failed completely. 3 times he was asked if he knew the prisoner. 3 times he said no. Then the rooster crowed, just as Jesus had predicted, and Peter went out and wept bitterly. All 4 Gospels record this failure. The church's first leader is introduced to history at his lowest moment. But the story didn't end there. After the resurrection, the Gospel of John describes Jesus asking Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" Once for each denial, and 3 times Jesus gave him the same command, "Feed my sheep." The broken fisherman became the shepherd. Weeks later, at Pentecost, Peter stood before a crowd in Jerusalem and preached the first public sermon of the Christian church. The book of Acts says about 3,000 people were baptized that single day. For the next 3 decades, Peter led the growing church through persecution, prison, and exile. The book of Acts says an angel once led him out of his chains the night before his execution. And finally, his road led to the most dangerous city on earth for a Christian, Rome. In July of 64 AD, a great fire destroyed much of the city. The Emperor Nero needed someone to blame. He chose the Christians. The Roman historian Tacitus records what happened next. Believers were torn by dogs, nailed to crosses, and burned alive as torches to light Nero's gardens. There is an ancient legend from those days. Peter fled the city to save his life, and on the Appian Way, he met a vision of Jesus walking toward Rome. Peter asked him, "Quo vadis, Domine?" "Lord, where are you going?" And Jesus answered, "To Rome, to be crucified again." Peter turned around. He walked back into the burning city, back to his own death. Early church tradition holds that Peter was arrested in the persecution and crucified upside down at his own request. He was buried in a simple grave on Vatican Hill, just outside the circus where he died. 300 years later, the Emperor Constantine built a basilica directly over that spot. In the 1940s, archaeologists digging beneath St. Peter's Basilica found a 1st century tomb, exactly where tradition said it would be. And in 1968, Pope Paul VI announced that bones found there had been identified as Peter's. Today, the papal altar of St. Peter's Basilica stands directly above that grave, and every pope since, an unbroken line of more than 260 successors, traces his office back to one man. Not an emperor, not a scholar, a fisherman from Galilee, the man who once sank beneath the waves, the man who once denied Jesus 3 times, held nothing back at the end. He asked only to be turned upside down, so that even his death would point to someone greater than himself.